The Dune franchise is a juggernaut in every sense. Its world is expansive and contains a depth where every little detail has been given thought and care. Its influence in the science fiction genre is undeniable, with many staples of the genre finding their origins in Dune. And that influence is continuing to grow, as Denis Villeneuve's movies have taken the world by storm, exposing everyone to the brilliance that the story has to offer. Dune Part 2 is set to be one of the biggest movies of 2024, and the scale of the project is massive. Not only is it helmed by one of the greatest working directors, who also just happens to be a lifelong fan and incredibly passionate about the source material.
I have deep respect and admiration for him. He's one of my favorite authors, and I wanted to make sure if he had seen this movie, he would have feel that love.
But the movies truly are firing on all cylinders. Dune offers a masterclass in visual storytelling, bringing Frank Herbert's imaginings to life. Every bit of the environment is thought out and expertly crafted. The visuals of Dune capture the grandeur and unique essence of the world, treating viewers to the beauty that makes the story so wonderful. But the atmosphere of Dune is not only communicated with its visuals, its sound design is incredible as it adds to the distinct feel of the story. Famed movie score composer Hans Zimmer provides the music of the world, heightening the intensity of some moments while creating a softer atmosphere for others. His work on the score of Dune helps to truly engross the viewer in the story, and adds not only to the scale of the project, but its distinctness. The sound of Dune is one unto itself. There is no other like it. The Dune franchise also plays host to some of the most talented actors currently working to create one of the most impressive casts ever seen. The cast of these movies is like all of those unrealistic fan castings you see online, where you name the biggest actors in the industry to play all the parts. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Léa Seydoux, Christopher Walken, and that's not even mentioning half of the amazingly talented actors in the films. Star-studded does not even begin to describe it. But even with the jaw-dropping visuals, incredible music, and laundry list of talented actors, Dune is nothing without its world building and story. Dune dedicates so much time to fleshing out and fully realizing its incredibly unique world. At the heart of the world of Dune is spice, the most valuable resource in its universe. Everyone wants a little bit of that spice, because whoever controls the spice has massive power and influence. It's at the heart of the story, and is a massive motivating factor for the characters. It's seen by some as a way of life, to others as a means to riches, and to others still as the key to personal success and growth. Some are willing to do anything for spice, even if it means leaving Arrakis as a hellscape when a paradise is within reach. But there's no spice without the giant sandworms. The sandworms of Dune and the desert they reside in are characters all their own. The sandworms make harvesting spice just a little bit more difficult, as whenever they hear reverberations in the dunes, they charge towards the sound and engulf whatever may be there. They are the gods of the desert, and if one hopes to survive on Arrakis, understanding how to live with these creatures is necessary. The massive size of the sandworms and the role they play in the story make them a core part of the DNA of Dune. The inventiveness of Dune does not end with spice and sandworms. One of the most interesting elements in the story is the voice, an ability that allows the user to completely control others to carry out their will. It's a really interesting element to the world, and feels incredibly powerful, but also full of so much storytelling potential. When it comes to simple rule of cool, Dune's shields provide an interesting and distinct visual that has huge implications for combat. The shields render most ranged weapons, such as guns, obsolete, as the shields provide protection against projectiles. As a result, swords and other close-quarter melee weapons are the standard for most fights. Core to the story of Dune is its highly political narrative.
When we get to Arrakis, we'll face enormous danger.
What danger? Fremen? The desert?
Political danger.
The universe is run by the Imperium and the Great Houses. It's almost like a space opera, as each of the great houses scheme and jockey for power and influence. There is a constant power struggle, with all the main players doing what they can to increase the scope of their reach. At the start of Dune's story, House Atreides has started to rise ever higher, making them a threat to the Emperor's own influence.
The great houses look to us for leadership, and this threatens the Emperor.
With Spice being at the center of all things, and the Atreides gaining too much power, the Emperor devises a plan to eliminate his competition. When House Atreides is given control of Arrakis, everyone knows that there are bigger things at play. But everyone is scheming, and even though they know that other factions are scheming against them, they still have their own plans that they are looking to spring into action. The way the different houses go about achieving their goals also speaks to their values. What is so compelling about the politics of Dune is that it focuses on moves and counter moves. Everyone is playing to win, and everyone thinks that they will be able to bring their plans to fruition, making it incredibly gripping when you see that one faction ends up being wrong and gets outplayed. As the audience, you become fully invested in this massive political game, being played for the future of the entire universe. The great houses aren't the only ones who have designs on the future, as the Bene Gesserit are one of the biggest players in the story. Appointed as advisors to every great house, they can be seen as a force subtly manipulating events from the shadows. They have machinations of their own, but their interests are more long-term, planting seeds in advance in order for them to grow centuries later. There is a mysticism about them, as they search to create the One, and the necessary environment for him to succeed when he arrives. An interesting aspect of Dune is this idea of belonging to two different worlds. For Lady Jessica, she is a member of the Bene Gesserit, and she is also Paul's mother. At times, it feels like these two things can come into conflict with each other, as the Bene Gesserit's tests for Paul put his life in danger.
Will you protect our son?
With my life.
I'm not asking his mother, I'm asking the Bene Gesserit.
Paul is the heir to House Atreides, as well as being the son of a member of the Bene Gesserit. What do these two things mean for his future? Looking at it a different way, Paul is trying to learn the ways of the Fremen, but he is an off-worlder. How do these two things affect his journey and his ability to achieve his goals? The story of Dune is also, in part, the story of a chosen one, a messiah. The way Dune goes about implementing this aspect of its story is terrific, as it slowly builds up not only its importance, but the implications such a figure could have for the universe. It sets up questions surrounding the Chosen One archetype, like how this person is created. They focus not just on the Chosen One, but on creating the proper environment for the Chosen One to be believed and followed.
That means the Bene Gesserit have been at work here.
Planting superstitions.
Preparing the way, Paul.
Also, because Chosen Ones are layered in prophecy and are often ritualistic in nature, what does it mean if said Chosen One uses these elements to bring about their desired outcome? The signs and abilities will mark the arrival of the Chosen One, their ability for transcendent conscious thought, the ultimate tool in leading to the best possible future. The way Dune plays with destiny is something that adds a great layer to the story. Dune's storytelling is very detail-oriented, integrating the tiniest minutiae into fully realizing its narrative. Its ability to hit on important thematic elements elevates the story that's being told. What's so impressive about Dune is how it is able to tell such a grandiose story of cosmic proportions, but at the same time make it feel so rooted in the intimate and the personal. It is equally a story about the political maneuvering that will decide the future of the universe, as it is a story about a young man trying to find his place in things. The dynamics and relationships between characters are just as important as Dune's grandeur aspirations. The release of these Dune movies feels incredibly special. The scope of them feels unprecedented in recent years. Their releases events that will be marked down in the history of pop culture. I think we should take the time to appreciate the experience of them, as moments like these come few and far between. The brilliance displayed throughout Dune isn't just one thing, it's multifaceted. To experience the brilliance of Dune is to experience narrative brilliance, world-building brilliance, visual brilliance, audio brilliance, acting brilliance, creative brilliance. I can only hope that we get to continue to experience the brilliance of Dune as more of Frank Herbert's books in the series are adapted, giving us the bizarre and unique world that is Dune. If you somehow made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. It really helps out the channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.